Today I want to kind of talk about our BeamChecker Plus and just kind of quick talk about those quick objectives. Obviously you want to verify your daily beam has not changed from a known value, and that's exactly what the BeamChecker Plus does. It wants to remain consistent for all those energies day to day. You want to be able to verify that constancy of not only straight beams and open fields, but also wedge beams and modified beams. Consistency of the MLCs and the gantry rotation, convenient trending and reporting data, so you have that information at your fingertips as you go through it. And you'd want to do it as quickly as possible, but very accurately to get on with your treatment day. So, our BeamChecker Plus assists with the TG 142 task group recommendations, including X-ray output, electron output constancy, laser accuracy, collimator size, as well as wedges for doing your checks of, like I mentioned, those beam modifiers. And we also have the ability to pull that data right into our QA pilot software, and the QA pilot software is our vendor neutral platform for QA management, not only for your QA, but also your library of equipment such as electrometers and ion chambers. All can be storehoused in QA pilot for quick access. So the basic specifications of the BeamChecker Plus that really make it a very easy system to use. They're ion-based array with 8 parallel plate ion chambers. It has a water equivalent housing material. It has a lower centimeter buildup for electron side, 1.5 centimeters, and 3.5 for photons. Measures beam constancy, flatness, and symmetry for just about any energy out there. Cobalt 60, your full regimen of photons, and your full complement of electron beams as well. You can track up to 9 individual treatment machines with a single unit. So if you have multiple LINACs, you can do that with a single BeamChecker Plus. You can trend results and generate reports, as I mentioned earlier. And then we also have a convenient power and data cradle for easy charging and communication. So you once the daily measurements are done, you can place it back on the cradle and it will automatically start recharging. So you'll always have it handy to do your measurements on this daily basis. So like I mentioned, the ease of use is the key, and quite honestly, the BeamChecker Plus is probably the easiest unit out there. We have what we call it's a patented wire-free mode. It's a software-free solution. It allows you to use the unit in an unconnected mode, if you will, to any PC. It will automatically take the measurements and automatically reset and give you immediate pass-fail indicators on the unit itself without having to connect to a PC. But then there's also a PC mode that is available if you want to do that, and I'll kind of touch on that in a little bit. But again, like I said, automatic energy detection is kind of the key. Our patented wire-free solution. We have set chambers in the unit that basically, it can read and decipher which beam is actually being delivered. So if you deliver a 6x beam, today, and set that baseline to it, tomorrow when you deliver that same 6x beam on that LINAC, it will automatically characterize and recognize that beam, give you the results accordingly, and then reset and move on to the next waiting for the next energy. And that just helps reduce errors in delivery, because the nice thing about it is you don't have to do it in a set pattern. If you go one morning and you deliver your 6x beam, then you deliver your 18, but forget to deliver your 10, you can go backwards to that 10 and it will automatically detect that energy and recognize that energy. So you don't have to do it in a set way. It's very easy to incorporate really any routine you want to use on a daily basis. Some of the unique features, it's got the integrated buildup, so the measurements are performed near or beyond Dmax for that repeatability. We've got the dynamic mode. So if you have rapid arc or VMAT, if you've got tomotherapy, CyberKnife, we have capabilities for all of those treatment delivery systems. And like I mentioned, also, we can do constantly checks for not only wedge beams, not only physical, but also your electronic dynamic wedges. The automatic built-in temperature and pressure compensation as well. It's got a real-time clock stamp, so when you take a measurement, you'll always know when those measurements were taken. And then we also have what we call a physics mode. That's part of the real-time measurement capabilities, and I'll kind of touch on that in just a few minutes too as we move along. So basically, your initial configuration is kind of possibly, maybe the only time you have to connect to software. Any of the daily checks beyond that, you can be done completely software free. But anyway, to do that, you set it up on the couch, and you can do it connected to a PC at that point, either with our serial connection or the available Bluetooth connection, and that just kind of connects up to the PC for the initial baseline setup of the software. And you'll see that here. This is just a very simple screen to set up for your baseline. You define your action levels, what your thresholds are for pass and fail and caution, and then you teach the QA BeamChecker the energy. So you line it up for your 6 MV, you deliver the 6 MV beam, it will learn that 6 MV beam, and then you use those same parameters for your daily exposure going forward. And you can do that for all your different energies. And you can see here on the left of the screen, we have a lineup for a number of different rooms here. We've got the LINAC 1, we've got a TOMO room, we've got a rotational room that may be your VMAT specific LINAC 2, second TOMO, etc. So you can, like I said, you can set up to 9 rooms with a single BeamChecker Plus. So then you deliver the normal LINAC beam when you get that set up for what energy you want to set your baseline for, and then you repeat that delivery for each energy. And then simple enough, you take that, place it on the download data cradle, and you can upload that baseline information to the PC, and you're basically all set to go. The characteristics of those beams are also stored on the BeamChecker Plus itself for each LINAC. So once you pull that off the cradle and set it up for your daily routine, you're ready for your daily QA. And in doing so, you set it for your morning procedure. You want to do that kind of at the same time every day, just so you have the same characteristics of the beam during the morning warm up and the availability of the LINAC. But you lift it off the cradle, place it on the couch, no cables, no software. This is what you're looking at on a daily basis. And that's kind of why we call it the therapist friend, because the therapists love it because they don't have to worry about cables. They don't have to worry about plugging it in because it's got a rechargeable battery. They don't have to worry about uploading data after the fact. That can be done really at any time. The unit itself will store up to 30 days of data, so you can just do an upload to the PC for trending every 30 days, or you can do it daily. It's completely up to the routine of the facility. But then once you have it set up, you line it up. You can aim the patient camera at the large display there. You see that it's RDY, stating that the unit is ready, and you can go ahead and view the status on that patient monitor as you go through your checks too. So then you deliver your beam, and you'll notice on the readout here, you'll see those 3 diagonal lines. Those will spin, basically, kind of giving it a rotational, spinning when it's receiving radiation. So you kind of know through that monitor if the unit is receiving the beam correctly or receiving radiation at the time. So you deliver any beam for which a baseline exists. Like I said, it can be any order. You can go 18, 6, 10, 15, however your daily routine you see fit, and the unit will automatically reset and become ready after a reading. So you deliver your 6, it will ready itself and reset and rearm the ability to take the next energies reading. And you'll see also that the energy that was detected here showing you 6x, it will say 6e if it's on the electron side, or if it's an electron beam. And basically showing you here that it's 6 MV photons, and that was what was detected. And if it, like I said, all is well with that particular beam, it will automatically ready itself for the next beam. And in the case that you do get a beam that is out of tolerance, that's noted the red and yellow beam here, showing that it's not delivering correctly. You'll have a whole list of different readouts showing you exactly what that error was. CST being constancy, TSM being transverse symmetry, axial symmetry for ASM, your flatness measurements. Those X's there are saying that it didn't recognize the beam. So if for some reason you don't have the beam or the energy you want to do baseline, you'll get those X's just to notify you that there was an issue with the reading. So any of these tolerances, if it's multiple tolerances, if you have both transverse and asymmetrical or axial symmetry errors, it'll kind of cycle through those error screens. So you'll kind of see that both or whatever the errors were. And it also has an audible alert if there was an error. And the only time you might have to enter back into the room, and you probably have to do that anyway, just because if there is an error, you have to manually reset the unit just to kind of as a stopgap cautionary step to make sure that you realize that there was an error on that particular delivery. And you go in. The only time you really need, if everything's well with the photons, the only time you need to really go in and address the unit is when you put your electron cone. You flip the unit over, align it for your electrons, and you're ready for your electron deliveries. And the same procedures go for electrons as photons. You just deliver the beams in the order that you see fit, and it will automatically recognize those and go ahead and move forward for you. And when the routine of the daily routine is completed, you place it back on the cradle, and it will start charging again. So you always have a charged up unit, and then you also have the ability then to upload that data to the PC. Like I said, you can either do that on a daily basis, a weekly basis. It will hold up to 30 days daily information and daily results. So you can do that at any time, on a daily basis or even a monthly basis. It's completely, again, up to you. So once that is back on the cradle, then if you do upload that information, you can get your trending lines here, as you see, either in a table view, which is tabular numerical results, or as you see here, a chart view showing you the actual trend lines of those measurements. And you'll see the different trend lines here. You've got your constancy in black, your axis in orange, etc. You can click on those too, because quite honestly, as you get every day, and you're looking at a whole host of months worth or years worth or whatever your time frame is, you can simplify this trend line by just deselecting any of these and take a look at, if you only want to look at constancy, I can deselect the other three, and then you just have a single line that you can track across. So it gives you detailed results and trending. You can export the table view of the numerical measurements to Excel very easily as well. So you've got that functionality capable as well. And that's really, like I said, this could be the only time you need the software is if you want to take a look at the trending. But if you do want to use the software, well, this is actually, I'm sorry, this is the reports being generated. So these are the reports you can generate, like I mentioned, either in the linear chart view or the tabular view of the actual readouts and results on a daily basis, as you can see. So you can print those or save those as you see fit. This is the actual, the alternative software-driven mode. So if you do want to use it in a quote-unquote real-time mode and track and watch and visually see the readouts being taken, you can certainly do that as well. You have the ability to connect it either with that serial cable directly, run through the raceway of the LINAC room. It's a standard serial cable that is included with the unit. Or you can also use our optional Bluetooth attachment, which allows you to do basically a wireless connection from the unit itself on the couch to the wall of the LINAC, so you don't have those cables laying about as well. So we've got what we call a real-time operation, which gives you real-time readouts of those 5 chambers in the cross pattern. The other 3 chambers are utilized for the energy detection. We also have pass, fail, and caution color-coded results, as you see in the little box on the lower left. And then we also have what we call the physics mode, and the physics mode here is basically if you want to use the BeamChecker as a somewhat of an electrometer type of situation, you can actually get those rate and charge readings from the readout of the unit with a manual start and stop functionality here. But you'll still get your flatness and your symmetry readings, and you can see those temperature and pressure correction readings here as well. So it gives you a little more flexibility with how you want to take a look at those results as well. But again, you can use this completely independent of the software as you see fit. And typically, if there is a reason, so if you want to do dynamic wedges or things like that, that's kind of where some of the software functionalities might come in. So, for dynamic measurements, if you want to do rotational, we can do that as well. We can do enhanced dynamic wedges. We can also have a capability to do tests for tomotherapy systems. We also have functionality for use with a CyberKnife as well. We've got a CyberKnife user that had developed a routine for the BeamChecker Plus to utilize for the daily QA on their CyberKnife. Got a gantry mount, so if you want to take measurements for precision at repeatable angles, you can certainly do that as well. So that will allow you to kind of check your constancy and your symmetry and flatness and how that is maintained at various angles of the rotation of the gantry. As I mentioned, there's a tomotherapy specific mode. We have a leveling platform, since the couch and the couch and the movement of the LINAC itself for tomotherapy does not have the capabilities of motion like a conventional C-arm LINAC. We have a leveling plate, and you can set that up, level it to the internal lasers of the Tomo unit, and then you can do a combined dosimetric check. You can do a laser QA for the virtual and the real isocenter alignment of the system, and that can be handled pretty easily with the optional leveling plate. So some of the benefits, like I mentioned, being that it's can be completely used wire free without software and cables. It's very simple, fast, reliable daily QA for up to 9 LINACs per BeamChecker. It's like I said, innovated wire free, allows that software less operation. Integrated buildup gives you very stable readings and very high quality design with that blue water shell. So it's a water equivalent shell with inherent buildup. That automatic energy detection reads that known beam, automatically resets for the next one to move your morning routine forward quickly. It's a very robust system with a 2-year warranty. We introduced the BeamChecker Plus right around 2006. Prior to that, we had just our regular BeamChecker, and there, 16 years later or whatever it is, there's still original BeamCheckers out there being used, as well as early entry BeamChecker Pluses that are still being used as well. So they're a very robust system and have a good long life. Everything as far as the electronics in the unit is shielded with brass, so very well shielded, does not get any radiation damage to the electronics. So it's got a long capable life of the system. Got that intuitive trending and reporting of data, as well as reports that can be printed out and saved to either PDF or hard copy. And you have the ability to do the rotational QA capabilities as well for rapid arc, VMAT, electronic dynamic wedges, tomotherapy, etc. So it's a very wide-ranging um, machine that can do quite a bit. So that's kind of what I wanted to go over today as far as the BeamChecker Plus goes. If you want more information or want to take a look at it further, you can see more information on our website. If you want a quotation, feel free to contact sales@standardimaging.com, and the request will be sent to the pertinent sales rep, and they'll get in touch with you with pricing or anything else you might need. If you have any other questions for me, my email is hpeterson with an en at standardimaging.com. So hpeterson at standardimaging.com. And I look forward to helping you out if you have any other questions.